Welcome back to The Merge, the wrestling guide for Jiu-Jitsu, powered by Fuji Sports. The throw by is one of my favorite techniques to take my opponent down. This is something I've used for my entire career, wrestling in college, in Jiu-Jitsu, and I really recommend every Jiu-Jitsu student to learn this because it gets you to the most dominant position in the sport, which is the back. Now, if you haven't watched episode 1 or 22 yet, go back, watch those first. I break down 2 separate slide bys, and once I show you what a throw by is, I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison on the slide by to the throw by and when it's beneficial to use one or the other. So let's walk through both these slide bys first. The first episode, episode 1, Kendall Coleman slide by. This is when your opponent's leaning heavily into you and we're going to basically step out of the way and they're going to fall forward towards us. Now episode 22, Kainan Duarte. The only difference with this one is there's a pop with this arm now, and now we have the arm around the neck for the collar tie, okay? So the throw by, 95% of the throw by is basically the same to the slide by, but now we're making this grip inside the arm, okay? So it's coming inside the elbow, fingers are wrapping deep around the elbow by the tricep area here. Not shallow, okay? You have to have a grip on this elbow because look, when we step, we're pulling, we're throwing this guy by, okay? So now putting this all together, just like the other episodes in the slide by, I'm stepping, twisting, shying my head away to get this grip off the neck, right? I'm gonna throw this arm by, wrangle him in with this arm from here. So any momentum with any of these techniques is gonna help, okay? But some is needed and some for other techniques isn't. So for the first one, like I mentioned with the first slide by, episode 1 with Kendall Coleman, that needs almost all momentum coming forward because we're not really pulling the guy too much. It's really just stepping around, sliding by, okay? The second one with the pop, you can be stationary, but the problem with that is if you're stationary, once you pop, there's only so much power this little pop is going to generate. Now, of course, creating this angle is helpful to slide the guy past you, but this can only be so powerful. And that's when I like to go to the throw by. So the throw by can be done completely stationary because, in my opinion, it has the most control. And it has the most control because I have this collar tie around here, which I can wrangle him back in with, but also I am actually throwing this arm. I'm not just popping it up. Now on the control subject, since the throw by needs the most amount of control, I also think it does take the longest to set up. And I'm talking about like a half second here, 1/10 of a second, but that does make a difference when you're competing at a high level and your opponent can kind of feel there's some kind of danger coming and they start reacting. So, once again, going back to the initial slide by, I could just be here, I'm just twisting my weight and kind of sliding by this way, right? Even with the pop, not that I'm gonna do this completely wild, but I don't really need too much of a grip, right? I'm just stepping and I'm popping the arm. With the throw by, I need to make a grip. So just that extra split second, right, is gonna take me just a little bit more time to set it up. So it does have the most control and it can be hit from a stationary position, but it's gonna take that half second longer because I need to get this grip on the inside. And the last thing regarding control and power, so typically when we do a slide by, a lot of times you'll see as I pop and slide this guy by, he starts trying to run away and we get into like this circular battle here, right? I'll usually get behind and we'll take the back anyway. But if you noticed, 8 out of 10 times with a throw by, you don't really get into those circle fights, right? It's usually the guy's weight flying forward towards his hands and he gets weight going towards the front of his toes because we're literally throwing the guy forward here, which is getting him moving forward. So in essence, any of these 3 techniques work really well with momentum, right? But if there's gonna be no momentum and you're more of a stationary position, I would recommend either the pop or what I'll really recommend is more of the throw by, okay? For more videos, head over to themergeonline.com where you can subscribe for free. Follow us on social media, and I'll see you guys next Friday.